texts tell us about the writer and the times they were living in? What else is this writer written? How does this relate to that writer's other works? So always try to be asking questions of the text that you're dealing with in class. Try to be the kind of student who is intellectually curious. This is a phrase we like to put down in UCAS references for university applications. A student who's intellectually curious will be asking questions about their text. They will be curious and find out things for themselves rather than being spoon-fed all of the information from another source. I'm going to make a short digression to talk about A grades and A star grades. I often hear students make statements such as I need an A, or I want an A star in this subject, which is great. Ambition is great, but an A and an A star are, well, they're not something that can be purchased or indeed given, and phrases like need and want suggest a purchase or something being given. Really, an A star or an A is something that is earned. In talking to chief examiners who mark exam papers, they often say that A star students will be wider readers. They will be more knowledgeable. They will write with flair, detail and precision, and with concision. In summary, they will know more than they write, and B grade students will often write everything that they know, and there's a clear distinction there. And what you find, and this leaves you with some food for thought, is that A grade answers or A star answers are often shorter than B grade answers. So how do you become the A star student? How do you become intellectually curious? Well, you have all of the resources available to you. You have to use them. You need to think about using the journals that are available to you through the college. You need to be using the college resources on Moodle for your subject, and taking notes on them yourself in your own time. You need to be using the Woodhouse English blogspot and the range of resources that are available, and extension resources, extension reading that's also there, and which is highlighted by our Twitter page constantly, which is constantly updated. But outside of the resources available to you in college, you should also be thinking about using the LRC and the books that are available to you. You should be talking to the librarians, who are very helpful and more than willing to guide you to books that will give you a richer historical background to the text that you're studying, or the workers that you're writing about, or books that might illuminate something that you're studying in class. Equally, radio is a resource that students underuse, and what I mean by that is Radio 4 has a number of programs of general interest, but which are also educational, and which is a very rich area that you should be using regularly. The Radio 4 BBC archive is very good for programs about English and the wide variety of English in use, and it just listening to English on the radio improves your vocabulary and expression. Equally, iTunes U has a number of free resources available for you, as well as our Pinterest site. And newspapers, you should be reading a wide variety of newspapers, not just the Metro on the way to work, but a range of different newspapers, looking at different styles. And particularly at weekends, the supplement sections are very good for increasing your current affairs knowledge and general written expression. Okay, let's touch on the subject of handwriting just for a minute. you're in a system in which you're going to have to write your answers in an exam in time conditions. How you write in that exam is a factor. Now, you will have an external examiner who will be reading your work amongst hundreds of others. They will try to read your handwriting, but if they find at some point it is illegible to them, human nature suggests that they will pass by that. They will try and read it once, maybe twice, but if they can't read it any further, they will go on. So it's incumbent upon you, incumbent is a word, it means you have to be responsible for the quality of your handwriting. Now, at the risk of sounding a little Victorian here, I see people's handwriting in class, and there's a few tips that I think could help to improve your handwriting. Now, that's not to say you're going to have to be a perfect handwriter in an exam. You're in time conditions, but I suggest that you use the hand that you're not writing with to hold the paper. And if you are slouched back in your chair, leaning back, it's likely that your writing will be sloppy. So think about sitting up straight and writing, holding the paper with your other hand. Right, now you have to write, I think in an hour, at least 3 sides of A4. Now, because the paper in the exam booklets are not actually A4 size, they're slightly shorter, you should be aiming for about 4 sides in an hour. So why Usain Bolt? Well, Usain Bolt did the 100 meters in 9.86 seconds. He didn't do that instantly. He had to practice to get up to that, until such time that he could do it in 42 strides. Now, you don't do that straight away without practicing, so you're going to have to practice your handwriting at speed, and try to improve the speed and the quality of your handwriting. This takes practice. Just as an aside, give yourself a little challenge here. Can you count to 42 seconds in 9.86 seconds? That's something to think about. Okay, let's look at essay questions. These are some questions from A2 coursework from previous years, but they're similar to questions that you might get in the written exam in the summer.